Hello, and welcome to the Davies Park Executive Search Podcast Series. Today we'll be speaking with Tony Kirschner, a senior consultant with Davies Park in Vancouver, to learn how executives can build their professional networks through mentoring and develop more connected relationships based on implicit trust. Tony, thanks for joining us.
It's great to be here.
If you could ask just one question in an interview with a candidate, what would it be and why?
Well, as an executive search consultant, I have to ask a lot of questions. But the question that tells me a lot about an executive candidate is, over the course of your career, what's the accomplishment about which you're most proud? And I like this question because it asks the candidate to summarize their career in a single response, and it can really reveal an individual's depth, their gravitas, and their level of sophistication.
How would you summarize the best answer you've received to date?
A candidate for a VP HR search told me that she was most proud of seeing all the people she had mentored over the years attain positions of prominence in BC's human resources community. She said that it was a great validation to everything she'd achieved personally. The candidate continued by detailing the central role that being mentored played in kickstarting her career as a young HR professional struggling to be accepted in a rough-and-tumble northern BC forestry role. You might think that this kind of selfless answer is far from the exception, but it isn't.
As someone who reviews the career histories of BC's top executives, do many of these executives have a strategic understanding around the value of mentoring?
Without exception. The common theme that unites all of these high-performing individuals is the importance of being mentored and being a mentor. It is by no means a one-way relationship. Mentoring is the tie that binds business leaders. It's not surprising that the same personality traits that distinguish many executives, like drive, initiative, or intensity, also characterizes the type of people who seek out mentoring relationships.
With that in mind, what do you recommend to executives who want to develop and retain qualified talent through mentoring?
Mentoring is generally assumed to be most valuable to the junior participant, but one must not underestimate the benefits gained by the senior party. Mentoring is a primary method for senior professionals to stay current through the knowledge exchange with their more junior peers. As far as taking a tactical approach to mentoring, the beauty of it is there's no set formula for success. Mentoring relationships can be as brief as one feedback session or they can span decades. They can happen in a coffee shop or via Skype across the globe. They can occur informally in a day-to-day work context or be part of a structured platform. Whatever the arrangement, I've rarely heard mentors or mentees complain about the value of their experience. We learn as much from failure as we do from success. So when corporate clients ask me what the best kind of mentoring relationship is for them, my answer is always all of them. Mentored employees are more engaged and more likely to stay the course with their organizations.
That's certainly a different way to think about mentoring. What guidance can you provide for busy executives who want to have multiple mentoring relationships but find their schedules too challenging?
Well, it's typical for successful professionals to have numerous mentoring relationships over the course of their careers, often with several different arrangements occurring concurrently. The key is that they don't all need to find their personal Miyagi, like the mentor in the Karate Kid. Most leaders seek multiple Miyagis, if you will, and kind of benefit from the diversity of perspectives, geographies, and engagements. Having multiple points of contact, each with specific experiences and recommendations, can only improve everyone's chances of mastering an increasingly complex professional landscape. Participating in a defined, formal mentoring program will bring a very different set of results than an ongoing informal relationship. Both are of equal value in the context of career development. So while it's true that some lucky folks get the tap and are selected and taken under the wing of senior leaders in the organizations, the reality is that the vast majority of mentoring relationships are sought out and initiated by the simple act of asking and taking initiative.
For professionals who are reluctant to embrace mentoring, do you have any final thoughts?
Seeking out mentoring relationships creates a self-fulfilling prophecy of success. It takes effort and a bit of moxie to seek out mentors and mentees, and mentoring relationships require work to be sustained and develop over time. That being said, I've seen the tangible mutual benefits enjoyed by mentors and proteges time and time again, and I believe that taking the initiative to make mentoring happen is a key building block for future achievement.
Thanks for taking the time to join us today and providing us with your insights, Tony.
It was my pleasure. Thanks very much for the opportunity.
You've been listening to Davies Park Executive Search Podcast Series. More information about our services for clients and current opportunities for potential candidates are readily accessible by visiting daviespark.com.